Welcome to Light Logic, the podcast that discusses everything you need to know about low voltage lighting. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're listening to Light Logic.
Hi, everyone. Brian Qualls here with the Light Logic podcast. We are starting a new season, and today's episode was fun for me. So I've got Ken Combs. He's with Service Direct Landscape here in Phoenix, Arizona, or SDL for short. He manages the enhancement department for SDL, which gets a little bit of design involved too. So we had some good discussions on how to just incorporate landscape lighting into your design. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for listening, and enjoy the cast. All right, well let's get started. So I guess first, Ken, kind of you introduce yourself and introduce SDL, kind of what you guys do and what you specialize in.
Sure. Well, my name's Ken Combs. I work for SDL, which is Service Direct Landscape. We're construction build, maintenance, and design work. My role in SDL is Director of Enhancements. So I run the Enhancement division for SDL, which is basically a wide range of a lot of things. For say a subdivision's being built, we take the landscape architect plans and put it in per drawing. Then then we have the maintenance side, which is self-explanatory. We maintain many different communities, ranging from different sizes to different styles of landscape. And then my job kind of falls under the maintenance side of things. So basically, it's what it sounds. I enhance our maintenance accounts.
So that's interesting. So you guys, well, I'm glad to have you on, first of all, and a lot of things that I've watched SDL kind of grow since they came here in the Valley. So for those of you that are listening, Ken and I have known each other for a lot of years. He's here in Arizona, and to the point to where the company has grown, and so Ken's background is in landscape architecture, so he does a lot, or actually all of the designs that come through there. So main focus is more on the maintenance side of it, but enhancing existing projects and going through that. So as a little side note, fun note, how Ken and I hooked up together. He used to work for one of the landscape architects that I would call on when I was out in the field. And for many of you that know or don't know, Unique Lighting has a design service, and so we offer help and assistance in lighting designs. And Ken was one of the first contract employees I hired to help us get that going. The program was exploding, and I couldn't get through the plan. So nights and weekends, Ken was towing away, helping do the lighting designs for us. So. Which is kind of brings me to my next point. I mean, before you and I had met, how often were you doing lighting designs, or have you ever thought about lighting, and kind of how has your mind changed from the beginning to where you are now?
Well, that's a good question. Lighting wasn't always the first thing. They don't teach you lighting in school.
No.
Yeah,
they don't
you
even
know
teach you
what I'm
lighting
saying?
outside of school.
So basically it's like, how do I take this design, this installation, and take it to the next level? And so just starting to work in the field, and knowing that there's more than just putting plants in the ground. There's other options to enhance it even more, take it to the next level. So starting doing designs, to be honest, I wasn't doing too many lighting designs. Then as I grew into the profession, I saw the need and the desire for it, and now I see the benefit. I have it in my own yard. I preach on it now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your expertise and kind of what you learned in school, you were more on the plant side of things, right? Kind of more on the horticulture side of it.
Yes, urban horticulture. So
Okay, and so how much, because I've been kind of changing my classes lately, to where I've been calling lighting design kind of like target lighting, right? I see an object, I gotta light it. I see that, I got, versus doing the whole ambiance. I mean, how
sure.
often are you kind of looking at the types of trees versus the types of lights that go in? I mean, obviously you're going to light a mesquite, completely different. You're going to light a pine, but how much does that get into your thought process?
Every design. Yeah, just because, after time you just really, see it's like, wow, look what that can do, then just, figuring out, working with people like you, figuring out what's the best light fixture to get the most out of your landscape, your landscaping. I definitely, I look at, certain multi-trunk palm trees. Those are amazing to light up, but it's all about the right position and getting the right spread to capture it all, compared to, say, lighting a date palm, which is, tall and slender. But
Sure.
obviously, you have to capture the same time, you have to capture the canopy of the fronds. So, but yeah, everything I look at, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And it
Right.
is
Yeah. And,
though.
and
It
like I
is.
said, as
It's
you go
not.
through and look at all that stuff, like I said, I watch, new contractors and new designers, they walk into a distributor, or they just call up and they go, I need 20 uplights. Yeah. Okay. Well, what wattage do you need? What beam spread? And, I don't know, just give me what everyone else is buying. It's like, well,
Yeah.
there's to it, right? We don't just go in and buy, a bunch of, just, hey, give me a bunch of sprinklers. I'm gonna irrigate this lawn, right?
Oh, yeah. Good analogy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it gets through that, and then do you, when you're kind of doing your drawings and putting everything together, your construction documents and stuff, are you presenting those to the homeowner, or is that something that is just used as a roadmap for your crews?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely doing incorporating both. I tried to, with everything I do, I tried to inform, teach, educate the benefits and what I'm talking about. I like, you and I know we can talk blue in the face about it and know exactly what we're talking about, but without presenting something to the client, it makes a big difference. They want to see it, they want to know exactly what's going on. So people actually do care,
Yeah. And
you
and
know.
what which leads me to my next point. So, I always make the argument that just about everybody wants lighting, but they just don't have the vocabulary of how to ask for it, or what they do is they compare kind of what you do to, well, I can just buy these at Home Depot, right? I mean, they're trying to buy kit. So how talk to everyone of how hard is it to get someone who knows nothing about lighting, a homeowner, to understand that, why are there so many dots on my plan? I only need 10 lights. Why do you have 20 or 25, or kind of what's your process with that?
Well, doing landscape plans and designs of, it's, I just started as a overall, um, part of the design. I just figured that, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it into it. And when I design to, not the maximum, but to the desires and wishes of the client, but also with my background, I know how to take it a step farther and maybe bring something to the client that they didn't think about at the same time.
Mhm.
So when I design a plan, I design it for optimal lighting, and then we can work from there, and and see what works, what they didn't think about, and a lot of times, it's like, wow, I like what you're talking about. I didn't think about lighting that up and what a difference it makes. Um, Case in point, going back to my yard, I showed you my design, and there
Yeah.
was one thing you're like, you need to put a light on this side to balance what you have going on the other side. And I was like, brilliant. But I've carried that into my whole landscape design, about balance and options. So you can just take it so many different steps.
Sure. And overall, the way that I see it too, overall, it like you were alluding to before, you're bringing them in early, right? So now they're part of the design process, guided by you, of course, right? So that way it's it's not a surprise to them, at the end that you're not just unrolling this and going, oh, hey, and by the way, it's a $30,000 lighting package, and that
Right.
they know what they're getting into, and it gives you kind of a feel that, hey, if we have to, we'll phase it, right? We can lay wires inexpensive, so
Yes.
we can lay the infrastructure down now, and hey, tax returns are coming here in a couple of weeks, and we'll we'll put your
Well,
lights in when you get your tax return.
well, also it's knowing your client too, um, you know, Unique has options. It's not just one line of lights that
Yeah.
you have to choose from too. So based on your client, you have to kind of, that's our job, is to kind of feel that out and, know when to spec the right fixture, I should say.
Well, and that's a great point, right? I kind of call it the pre-qualification of my customer, because
Oh,
us,
yeah.
right? We're always doing demos, and a demo is great. It's going to help me sell a job 100%. But if someone's already got a preconceived notion that I don't want lights, no matter what you do, the demo's not gonna change their mind.
No.
So you've got to go out there and say, I mean, I tell the joke, and not really a joke, but the story of my parents wanting, they got a little track home. It's not big. My parents, oh, we want some lights in our backyard. Can you help us get 5 lights? Like, your son works for a lighting manufacturer. You can, by the time I got done this little tiny yard, I got 25 lights in their yard. It wasn't overly lit, and it was exactly what you said. They were like, well, I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, I
Oh,
just wanted to do I had my 5 trees. I wanted 5 lights, and they were doing that target lighting. So I think that's huge too.
yeah. Well, like you said, they do think of it, as more of a simple, easy, just kind of put a few here and then go, but they just don't know of the other opportunities.
Right. And the options, right? So now
Yeah.
it's gotten to that point where color changing is I tell you what, when we were first talking about color changing, never a million years would I thought that it would have gotten to the level that it is now. And I still think we've only scratched the surface. So of your projects that you work on, of your customer base, how many people are asking for color changing, and how many people are you offering it to?
I actually don't get, I don't think I've really ever, maybe once had people
Oh,
ask for
okay.
color changing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Interesting.
too common. It's always something I kind of throw out in passing to them. You say, this is because I try to educate them about lighting and all the different options. And that is definitely one of the options, about one of the options for lighting is definitely bringing it up. So I definitely, throw it out there and say, hey, if you want to go this route, we can even take it this step farther. Just like kind of how they want to use their user-friendly controls for lighting. Do they just
Hmm.
want to set a timer in the box, or do they want the app on their phone? Just options like that. But they don't know unless you throw it out there. They like,
Sure.
just building upon what we were just talking about. It's like just letting the client know.
Yep.
So
So when you are sitting with a client, do you provide them samples of, hey, these are the types of fixtures that are going to go in, or um, you know they get a feel for what they're getting for their dollar?
at first, I provide them, samples of the pictures, but as far as bringing them actual physical sample, not too often. I mean, I kind of play it by year a little bit, to see, I kind of feel out the client, if they're needing a little bit more justification on what they're actually purchasing, by all means, bring it out. But it could, it's definitely a benefit to have it there and bring it with you on the initial meeting and say, hey, here, check out this fixture. This is what I'm suggesting, uh, and it sells me on. I know the quality of Unique. I know when you pick up a unique fixture, and compare it to something else.
Well, like I said, I do it more for against the Home Depot or the big box stores type stuff, because you know you're you're comparing solid fixtures with something that's you know thinner material. Maybe it might be aluminum, potentially plastic. And it goes
It's
out
gonna
there,
last.
and it's just not going to last, right? I even too. It's like
so
I
it's
grind my
definitely
teeth.
quality.
Yeah. How many times do people ask you about solar?
All the time. And I'm like, it's just not there yet. It's not reliable yet. Yes,
Yeah.
it's cost efficient, but it's a totally different look.
Yep.
It's a totally different look. But many times, what do they have with solar? What do they have with solar?
Yeah. And like I'm with you. It's just not quite there yet. My argument when I get asked that question, my argument to most people is like, I think we're the only thing tripping us up or holding us up is the storage, right? It's like we can capture the energy really good, but you got to have pretty good batteries, and where are you going to put the batteries? If they're in the fixture, well then where's that going to? I mean, a lot of these fixtures aren't very big, so where are the batteries going to go? And
yeah,
comes down to
sure.
that.
Yeah, I was out in Charlotte a couple weekends ago visiting some good friends, and we were out, hanging out in the evening time, and then the lights start coming on as it got darker, of course, and there were some homes in a row that had solar, then skipped a few homes, and next thing you know, there's homes that have the low voltage lighting. What a difference. You can see the difference. You can see how they're
Just in the
able to
output.
capture the landscape so much better, instead
Yep.
of putting it in. You can see just quality alone,
Yep.
you're not going to deal with a plastic fixture that's, here, who knows what the sun does to these things too, but just durability. It's just
Well, but the
quality.
other side of it too, right? I go back to what we said at the beginning of this. To me, I think everybody wants lighting. Just drive through any neighborhood. You're going to see solar lights out there. But if people don't know, they don't ask the questions. They don't know. So they're buying the best of what they perceive is available that's out there. And I'm talking with actually a friend of mine right now that he's wanting to buy solar because he's so worried about the construction of putting the wiring. I said, hey, it's low voltage, man. It's got to be 6 inches deep. That's it. And he was like,
Yeah.
that's it. He's like, well, wait a minute. He had this misconception that even though it was low voltage, he didn't want to mess with having to dig trenches and put all that in there. And
Well,
I've kind of educated him. He's on board.
of course, it's more work, but the benefits of it all, it just outweighs everything.
Sure.
So
lastly, we're kind of wrapping up on our time here. I got actually two more questions. One is
sure.
still work related. So what's your approach, or what do you say when you do get a customer or a client that just says, I don't want lighting? I mean, do you still try and show them the benefits of it, or kind of what approach do you do when they tell you flat out no?
Well, I think you touched on a key word, and it's called, phasing or phase it. It's an opportunity to say, hey, we can come back down the line and do it later. Here's your option. Here's a lighting plan for you. This is part of the rest of your plans for you to keep. And when you're ready to pull the trigger, give me a call. We'll make it happen for you. Then I'll also throw in the fact that, hey, we can do a lighting, demo. I'll bring, the rep out and we'll do it. So it's, you kind of let them know, hey, you give them plant the seed, and, you try to educate them on the benefits, and, saying, hey, we spent all this time and money on the landscape, looks great during the day. Why not get more out of our product by enjoying it at night?
Yep.
So kind of, leave it at that.
Especially out here, right? The only time we enjoy the outside is at night in the summertime.
Yeah, and even then in the middle of summer.
Middle of summer is still hot for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, my last
10.
question, I ask everyone this at the end of every episode, is if you could go back to your younger self and tell yourself one thing, what would it be?
Like, with concern to landscape?
No, just in general, anything. You can go back to your younger self. At what point would you? What would you tell yourself if you go back? Anything in life.
Oh God, there's so many. I'm trying not to. When I was in my mid-20s, I actually went and apologized to my parents and said, I'm sorry that I didn't listen to you. So I was the kind of person, everything, I had to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of leave it at, in a general saying like that. Just don't think you're always right. There's always another way to look at something, so that's what I've taken out of that. But,
Spoken like a man who's got a teenager in the house.
yes. 16
Well,
years
Ken,
old.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate your candor today. It was really great. I'm
Yeah, it
glad you
was
came
fun.
on, and we'll see you out there.
Yeah, let's do it again. All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Light Logic. We want to hear from you. Would you like to be featured on Light Logic? Email us at info@uniquelighting.com.